Good afternoon. Welcome to my channel, Court of Public Opinion. I am going to be reading a little bit of information to y'all about the George Floyd case coming up, a tragedy that had happened, and I hope we get justice for this case. So it's kind of ironic when you look at what is going to be taking place during this trial. It's completely backwards of what you would normally see. So the first thing is all the defendants are police. The main one, Derek Chauvin, okay, and then they have Thomas Lane, Ton Theo, Alexander Keong, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, and a civilian, or the state. The civilian is no longer here with us, but the state is the prosecution, and the police are the defendants. And this is what the prosecutors are asking for: no cameras in the courtroom. Typically, we see the defendants do that because they don't want a possible jury pool, to be tainted. So they say they are requesting no cameras in the courtroom, body cam footage, anything. Well, this time the prosecution is asking for that. The prosecutors want lesser included charges: manslaughter, third-degree murder, which usually it's the defense who wants to give, a lesser option. They have hired experts to rebut or supplement the findings of the medical examiner. And this is who is always the witness for the prosecution, the medical examiners. There's going to be 4 other pathologist doctors who are going to testify about the same things the medical examiner is going to testify about. Another thing is the prosecutors didn't want a guilty plea for third-degree murder. Early on, there was a deal in place. The U.S. attorney quashed the plea deal. The prosecution is using private attorneys. Okay? They're not going to be using government attorneys, state's attorneys. They're going to be using private attorneys. Jerry Blackwell, Steve Sliker, and Matthew Frank, it looks like. Let me see. Let me make sure I got that third one right. Let me double check. I have a bunch. No. Yeah. Sorry, guys. It's taking me a minute. I believe the prosecution typically has a whole team of in-house prosecutors / lawyers. They went outside the office and are bringing in private attorneys to try the case. The 3 main presenting attorneys who will be arguing the case for the state are Assistant Attorney General Matthew Frank. Assistant Attorney Frank's background: he's a manager of the Trials and Appeals Division in the Attorney General's office. He's been a prosecutor for 21 years. He led the 2011 prosecution of Juan Humberto Castillo Alvarez, who was a man that was convicted of brutally killing a teen witness who was going to testify for the government. Next, Prosecutor Jerry W. Blackwell. His background is a founding partner. He is an attorney who works for a private firm. He is a CEO and chairman of Blackwell Burke, PA. He is an experienced trial lawyer with nationwide experience. He founded the Minnesota Black Lawyers Association. He is a frequent presenter on winning trial strategies. Among those strategies, he teaches other people it's how to communicate complicated legal and scientific issues to a jury. He is also known for getting one of the first posthumous pardons for an African-American circus worker who was convicted of rape wrongfully back in the 1920s. Wait, hold on. Does that 1920s? So how old would that make him, you guys? How old would that make him? I'm just checking something out here. So he's 90? These are considered all-star attorneys. There are a lot of government attorneys on this case as well. I'm wondering why they aren't using in-house attorneys. The third prosecutor is Stephen Sliker. His background is he's a partner at Maslon LLP. He has been a trial lawyer for 24 years and a former prosecutor. He has a criminal defense background as far as being in the courtroom handling criminal cases. He also handles government and internal investigations. He also was with the Minnesota Attorney General's office. He has not been there in many years, but is familiar how it all works. 13 years in the U.S. Attorney's Office. So those are the people that are going to be in the courtroom, active, trying this case. There are some people who are not going to be in the courtroom. One of those people is Keith Ellison. The Attorney General of this state will be in the courtroom possibly, but won't be presenting. He is the one who announced the major charges against Derek Chauvin and the charges that were going to be against the 3 other officers. He has been the lead prosecutor in this case. His name comes up number 1 in the filings that have been in the court with Judge Peter Cahill. He will most likely be at the table. There are going to be 4 chairs designated in the courtroom for the state, but he was not on the list provided by the Attorney General's office as one of the main presenting attorneys. Another one is Mike Freeman, the Hennepin County Attorney. He was the first prosecutor on this case. He brought the initial charges at the very beginning before it was taken over by the Attorney General's office. He was disqualified from the case by the judge because he met with the medical examiner early on without a third party present, without any investigator, with the rule that says if there is that kind of a meeting, those people may be called as a witness to testify about what happened in that meeting, and there's not a third party there to testify about it. Then those attorneys become potential witnesses. Therefore, he could not continue being a prosecutor on this case. He will not be in the courtroom, and he may just take the stand as a witness. And then they went on to talk about how the Minneapolis officials are preparing the city ahead of the Chauvin trial. The city is doing their last Operation Safety Net. It is the final one that is being held before the start of the trial. The Minneapolis Courthouse Government Center is in complete lockdown. The City Hall Federal Building has huge gates in front, barbed wire in between, and concrete barriers. It's so locked down, you guys. I saw, videos of it, and then they want to talk about you have to be on the list before you can get into the restricted area and the courthouse. There are several levels of safety and security that you have to pass through if you want to get to the 18th floor where this case is going to be heard. At the presser, the mayor and the chief of police Both were discussing how they were going to be handling the protests that are expected to happen outside. At the George Floyd Square, the area where Floyd died, the memorial that has been set up there. Yeah, the memorial that has been set up, there's a social justice alliance that is calling for a global day of prayer for March 8th in advance of his trial, on the start of jury selection and other events that are being held as people get ready for what is to come. So there are not going to be, we're not going to be privy to watching the trial on TV, on anything. As of now, I mean, that's what they're saying. So I hope the people get justice in this case, and those who are guilty are held accountable. I don't care who you are, what position you have, no, you know, how much power you have. Nobody should get away with hurting anybody, especially people that we're supposed to trust. Now, I'm not saying all police are bad at all. I love our men in blue, men and women in blue. But there definitely are some corrupt ones, just like anywhere else in any other realm of government or, you know, politics, anything. So you guys just remember, if you want to look that information up, that trial is coming up, I believe, in 108 days. So I'm really interested to see the outcome. All right. I hope everyone has a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you did like the video. If you didn't, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. Any interaction would be great. And also, I would love to hear some comments on what you guys would like to hear about. Any specific true crime cases, anything political that you're interested in, let me know. Put it in the comment section. All right. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a wonderful day. God bless.